What to look for in a running shoe. So when it comes down to buying a running shoe, it is so personal. It literally comes down to what it feels like on your foot. So many people come in and say, what's the best shoe? I want that one. The answer to that is there is no best shoe. Everyone is different and everyone has different feet shapes, different preferences. What feels comfortable to somebody will feel completely different to somebody else. So it's really important to try not to get caught up in what your friends like, different brands that people are running in, and just stick to what feels nice on your foot. So many runners make the mistake of running in the wrong type of running shoe. So here are 5 different tips of what to look for in a running shoe. Number 1 being comfort. The shoe needs to be comfortable on your foot, otherwise you're not going to wear it. It's as simple as that. Number 2 is cushioning. So cushioning in a running or gym shoe is going to basically help with your joints. So it will help with your ankles, your knees, your hips, and it will act as a shock absorber. Running alone is really high impact. It's 3 to 4 times your own body weight through the shoes. So other forms of exercise like plyometrics and all different sports will all be high impact, some more than others. Having a good cushion shoe as well can help with lots of running related injuries like plantar fasciitis, shin splints, etc. Cushioning is what you will feel halfway into your run when you're starting to feel really fatigued, and cushioning in the shoe will just give you responsiveness to feel a little bit more springy. All different brands use a different form of cushioning. So Adidas, for example, use what is called a boost cushioning. On, who are a reasonably new brand, use what is called cloud technology. So they use individual lugs and they'll compress to spring back up again, so the cushioning comes from there. New Balance use what's called fresh foam. Asics use a silicone gel. So all different brands use different types of cushioning, so it's definitely worth trying a lot of different brands on. My third thing to look for in a running shoe is support. So having enough support for your arches while you're running is really important. If you haven't got enough support, then you could have an alignment in the body, which is going to contribute to a lot of injuries. The way in which you should know whether the shoe's supporting you is to do a gait analysis. So there will be a video coming on the page as to how a gait analysis works, but essentially it will involve running on a treadmill, using a camera to see how much your arches roll and if you need support or not. A gait test only comes into play when you're looking for road shoes, because some of them have more support in them than others. With something like a trail shoe, which is completely for off-road running, they're all really similar in the sense that they all have support, because you basically don't want to roll your ankles on all of the uneven terrains. So gait test for a road shoe is really important to ensure that you have enough support. The fourth thing to look for is shoe size. So with running, we always say to go up around half a shoe size at least from your normal walking around shoe size, just because when you're running, especially on hot days like today, blood rushes to your feet, they'll swell up, you'll get friction. This can create blisters, black toenails, which are not fun while you're running. So having enough room is essential to ensure that your foot can breathe. Your foot will swell up lengthways as well as its width, so that's really important. So the further you run, the more your feet are going to swell up. So if you're running a marathon, your feet are going to swell up a lot more than running 5k. And the final thing to look for in a shoe is technology. So it really depends on what kind of running you're doing. In store, we always ask a lot of questions as to how far you're running, what kind of surfaces you're running on, what your goals are, if you've had any injuries, and from that we can obtain what kind of technology you're looking for, the level of technology, for example how much cushioning you need, whether you could try something which involves a carbon plate to increase speed. So technology is definitely something to look into. All of the brands now are so advanced, there's so much technology in all of the shoes. It used to be that you would just pick any shoe off the shelf and it would be like a plimsoll. Now the technology is ridiculous, so definitely look into technology.